My name is Claire. If someone had told me 3 years ago that my life would fall apart and then rebuild itself in the most unexpected way, I would have never believed them. Because back then, I thought stability was permanent. I thought home was something you could never truly lose. But life is strange. One wrong turn, one unfortunate moment, and suddenly, everything can change. I remember the night it happened, the cold wind brushing against my face, the city streets buzzing with people rushing somewhere warm. Meanwhile, I had nowhere to go. My apartment lease had expired. My job was gone. My savings had dried up faster than I expected. And I was too proud to ask for help. That night, I walked through the streets holding nothing but an old backpack and a heart full of fear. I kept telling myself it was temporary. Just one night outside, you'll figure it out tomorrow. But tomorrow didn't bring solutions. It brought the reality that I had officially become homeless. For the first few nights, I tried staying awake. I didn't want to fall asleep on the street because everything felt unsafe. Every sound felt threatening. Every shadow felt alive. I found a bench near a closed cafe and sat there, hugging myself to stay warm. My feet were freezing, my hands stiff, and my pride shattered. People walked by, and most didn't even look at me. Some glanced for a second, then looked away. As if homelessness was something contagious, as if the moment they acknowledged me, they'd also be reminded how fragile life can be. Days turned into weeks. I learned routines, where to get food, where to find water, and which alleys were safer than others. The city became a map of survival, and slowly, loneliness became the loudest sound in my world. But one morning, the turn that changed everything happened. I was sitting near a bus stop, trying to warm my hands with my breath. Cars passed by, people hurried to work, and life was moving too fast for someone who felt frozen in time. I lowered my head, ashamed, exhausted, and silently crying. Then a voice said, "Are you okay?" I looked up. A woman stood there, well-dressed, organized, and confident, the kind of person who looked like she had everything figured out. Her eyes weren't judgmental. They were gentle, present, like she actually cared. "I'm fine," I whispered. But she didn't believe me. Somehow, she looked past the words straight into what I was trying to hide. "Do you have somewhere to stay?" she asked. I hesitated. That hesitation was all she needed. She sat down next to me, on the cold bench, without fear or hesitation, as if she wanted to make sure I didn't feel alone in that moment. "My name is Grace," she said softly. "Let me help." I wanted to decline. Pride, fear, embarrassment, they all tried to stop me. But what came out of my mouth was a quiet, trembling, "Okay." That one word became the first step towards everything that followed. Grace took me to a small cafe nearby. She bought me food, real food, not scraps or donated leftovers, warm soup, fresh bread, hot tea. For the first time in weeks, I tasted comfort. While we ate, she asked questions, carefully, respectfully, never pushing too far. "How long have you been out here? What kind of work did you do before? What do you want to do now?" It wasn't pity. It was interest, real human connection. I told her everything, how I lost my job, how my landlord kicked me out, how I tried to manage alone but failed. And when I finished, I expected the usual reaction, sadness or distance or discomfort. But Grace simply said, "Everyone falls. Not everyone has someone there to help them stand. So let me be that person for you." She offered me a temporary place to stay, not her home, but a small rented room in a women's shelter she financially supported. Safe, warm, clean. She covered the first month while I figured things out. That night, I slept in a real bed. A pillow, a blanket, a door that locked. I cried quietly until I fell asleep, not from sadness, but from relief. Over the next few weeks, Grace checked on me often. She helped me rewrite my resume, helped me buy new clothes for interviews, gave advice without controlling my choices, encouraged me every step of the way. Slowly, the pieces of my life began clicking back together. I applied for jobs nonstop, and after 2 weeks, I received a call. A local publishing company wanted to interview me. I almost didn't go because I didn't believe I could be chosen, but Grace insisted. "You are capable," she told me. "You just forgot. Let me remind you." The interview went well, surprisingly well. They liked my background, my previous work history, and my passion. And just 3 days later, they hired me. It felt unreal. 1 month earlier, I was sleeping on a sidewalk. Now, I had a job, a stable future, a chance to rebuild. With my first paycheck, I paid for my own room at the shelter. With my second, I moved into a small studio apartment. It wasn't much, but it was mine. Mine to lock, mine to decorate, mine to breathe in. Every night, I sat on my small couch, sipping cheap tea, staring at the walls, and whispering to myself, "You're home again." I kept in touch with Grace, not because she demanded it, she never did, but because she had become a part of my life, a guiding voice, a friend. Months passed, I got a promotion, I started saving money, I learned to smile again. I found hope in places I thought were gone. 1 year later, on the anniversary of the day she found me, I invited Grace to my apartment for dinner. She walked in, looked around, and smiled with pride. "You built all this," she said. "No," I replied. "You helped me remember that I could." We sat, ate, laughed, and for the first time, I told her something that had been in my heart for months. "That day at the bus stop, you didn't just help me, you saved me." Grace shook her head gently. "No, Claire, you saved yourself. I just reminded you where the road was." Life has a strange way of breaking people, and an even stranger way of healing them. One wrong turn had taken everything from me. One right turn, meeting Grace, gave it all back. And today, when I walk past someone sitting alone, cold, scared, invisible, I stop. I look at them, and I ask the same question Grace asked me. "Are you okay?" Because I know sometimes all it takes is one person, one moment, one turn to change everything.